Hello and welcome, one and all. With the new Lost Outpost map coming up for a Salmon run, I really wanted to have a look at it to see where you can go, what the ins and outs are, and what surfaces are inkable and not, and what happens at high and low tide. So my significant other and I went in to have a look at it, and this is the result of that. So we went into the shoal and set this on the lowest difficulty, and the first thing I'd like you to notice is the quota is only one golden egg. So if you like, you can probably do this even solo easily. Now what I've done here is you can make this wall, but there's a pipe at the top, and then there's like a tarp on the top, and you can see you can slide off. You can't really stand on it or ink it. And I went up a second time because I wanted to see if you could control your fall at all, and you cannot. Once you touch that, you slide off at that end, and you can't. And what you're going to see here is kind of the tail of the walls of this map, is that they have a lot of these walls. They have inkable. You can ink them and swim up them, and they have these windows, surfaces you can hop over in order to get over the wall very rapidly. Like all these spaces, there's another one up there on the right. So you can ink both those sides and pass through it very, very quickly, but you can't actually stand on it. So I don't really have any high perch spots like that, like the other maps kind of do. So that's a very big difference. It's a very low altitude map, it seems. Although they're very sneaky, I think. You have some sneaky escapes, perhaps, but no perch. So here we have a low tide wave, and it kind of forces you to get out of the house, so to speak. More there, nice shot. I don't mind doing so. So it lowers here all these platforms. There's a series of them. You don't think they're available at normal or high tide. And so what I'm looking at, of course I'm exploring them. I'm also looking at where there may be jumps or escaping forwards. So that's kind of the focus here. So just have a look at what we do. Notice there may be some spots I didn't explore. You can take note of those. So note, that's all inkable, whatever you decide you may want to do with that. Little flyfish incoming. So these ramps, these loading ramps, are not that low at normal tide. Just so you know, don't go swimming over there too quickly. Here we are again at normal tide. This time the hordes are going to come in on a different side of the map. And what's interesting is it has these columns that are all like this. You can ink them, but they all have a pipeline surrounding the top, so you can't swim up onto any of them. Of course, you can swim up there to escape, you know, if you need to, or to hold them off while your teammate's going to get you, as well as the guy chasing you. There's a lot of panels around there. You can probably play hopscotch and hop between those if you really need to. Alright, so notice here I stopped that scrapper right on that inkable panel. You're probably going to want to be careful not to do that when you play. You're going to want to try to stop them on the grating so that you're not forced to deal with it while you're on the grating, because of course you can't squid through that or you're splatted. And you can't recharge your ink either, of course, while you're on it. You need to ink surface. So just something you really want to be mindful of that while you're fighting down here. Alright, so have a look at this. As you can see, this wall, from the outside, there's no tarp, so you can hop right over it. That could be a nice getaway if you're being chased by a boss or some hordes. And then, you know, if you want, you can go back and have a look at the basket area, because that's going to be relevant to how you want to set yourself up during the glowfly rush. Of course, during Glowfly Rush, your position near the basket is critical, and it's definitely different. This is a good example to note that these can be used as cover in case you can't reach the boss. That's always an option for you, is to take cover briefly. So these are the ramps I mentioned from earlier that I showed you. As I said, much shorter at normal tide. I'm assuming that that's a possible entry point for Salmon and Salmon bosses, which leaves a lot of entry points on the map. So just something to note that they may come from over here. So you can ink that wall and go over it even, but obviously that is not a viable point of escape during normal tide. So since the ramps are longer during low tide, I could have escaped over that piece at that time, but definitely not now. So you saw me struggling to try to get on top of the platform to deliver the egg. But we did confirm that you don't have to do that. You can deliver the egg by touching the base of the basket. Getting up on top of the platform is not necessary. So So what you're seeing here is the proper way to destroy a flyfish. I want to bring that up because there's definitely an issue with the attention paid to them. They're pretty devastating if you leave them alone. So please, at least make an attempt to toss a bomb in one of those baskets if you're near one. If you're wondering, well, how do I know which basket to throw it in? A very good rule is to simply throw it in the basket that is on the same side of which you're standing. So if you're standing on the right side of the flyfish, throw it in the right. If you're standing on the left, throw it in the left. If that doesn't seem to be the best way to choose at the moment, then at least wait to see where the other bombs go and try to land it in the opposite. If you are fortunate enough to have the inkjet as your special, this is another way you may destroy a flyfish all by yourself. Do note I targeted specific areas of the baskets, which is the lower side and lower right corner. It really does need to be there, and I'm not sure why, but that is where the bomb would normally land and explode if you use bombs. Be sure to call out this way when you see the flyfish. Even if your teammates can't get to you right away, at least they know where they need attention. Also, certainly, if you're the first one, if you believe you're the first one to spot a boss in a wave, be sure to call out so everyone knows where to go. So here I found this inkable surface. Certainly, if you have a high tide coming up like we do right now, it'd be wise to try to pre-ink that so it's ready for you in case you need it. And speaking of high tide, so far I've noticed, I feel like this has the most area to move around in during high tide, which is kind of nice. Though it does concern me that there may be a lot more crawling around on the map due to that. But I guess we'll just see. So, while I'm sure it's helpful, I find it pretty hilarious that I can see the flyfish through the window on this side there. That's just, I don't know, that's kind of a nice detail. Lastly, I want to note, even though we did not have it available to demonstrate here, you can also use the Stingray special to destroy the flyfish. You need to activate it. You need to shoot the center piece, where the fish pilot actually is, and it'll penetrate the armor, and eventually you will destroy it. So there you have it, overview of the new Lost Outpost map, which is definitely coming soon. If you want to get a little practice in and give yourself an edge to help make sure you have some good hauls, head on over to the shoal, as we did, and check it out. You can set the difficulty low if you want, just so you can explore it a little bit like we did, or you can really, up the ante and practice, especially if you have some friends available. And thanks for listening to my impromptu Flyfish tutorial. Alright everyone, see you on the boat. Take care.